Hello everyone, Ron here from HEISTMAN'S Hit the Road. Welcome to our channel. In this video, we check out a Thousand Trails Hershey Campground and begin our journey back to New York, where we'll be camping again at Brennan Beach Campground on the shores of Lake Ontario. Along the way, we stop for an overnight stay at a truly unique Harvest Host located in Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. However, due to a navigation error, we end up on some rough dirt roads that we had no business traveling on while towing our camper. Unfortunately, our rig suffered some damage before we were able to correct our route and finally make it to our overnight stop. We share our experience at this one-of-a-kind Harvest Host and then walk you through how we repair the damage that we could and stabilize the damage that will need more attention later. Jackie and I are excited that you're here, so let's get started and hit the road. So we've arrived at our Harvest Host in Susquehanna, New York, called Conklin'S Unique Country. And we missed a turn, and RV Life Pro kind of guided us around a turnaround, and I caught a low-hanging branch. Yeah, I thought it'd make it. I guess not. Of course, I heard it, and of course there was no sense stopping then. You can see it broke this Max Air cover, and it contacted the air conditioner first, but I'm going to take the cover off because I noticed my tie downs are bent. So I did catch, and I just want to make sure that everything inside's good before I fire that air conditioner up. See how they're bent? Yep. And there's some scratch marks on the back, but that could be from anything. That could be from anything, really. I mean, we get in contact with low-hanging branches, but these were pretty heavy, dead branches hanging over the road, of course. We're 13 feet 6 inches tall, and unfortunately, that's not the only damage we had today coming here. So, yeah, I'll show you the other one. When we missed the turn, and there was really no place to turn around, and RV Life Pro routed us about 20 some odd minutes out of our way on a big loop on some roads. Well, the first road was paved, but after that they weren't paved, and it got pretty hairy, especially one intersection from a dirt road to a dirt road, very narrow, and there's a ditch on the right, and I had to make a right-hand turn. And I got over to the left as far as I could. I had Jackie watching out the window for the camper tires on the ditch over here, right? And I was watching the other side, and what happened was it got in the ditch a little bit, and we were cranked so hard trying to make the corner that she says, "No, I think you're going to be okay. I think you're going to be okay." And she was talking about not going in the ditch. But the camper leaned enough to where the toolbox, you can see, got dented. Made contact with the cap. You can see there's some damage there, but it's very minor. Body filler and some paint blending, I think, will take care of that. Or maybe some, accent tape. I don't know. I'll figure it out, but right now I'm not really worried about it. It's cosmetic, so I'll put a little bit of caulk in there, maybe some silicone just to keep water out if some should get in. But I think we made out pretty well, considering. Yeah, we were almost totally out of the turn, and it sounded to me like branches breaking, and I stopped and I got out of the truck. It's like, did I miss some overhead branches, worried about the ditch and everything, And I got on, I looked around, there was no branches. I was like, what in the heck could that noise have been? You know, what could that noise have been? And I said, I don't see any damage. We'll have to look when we get, you know, the harvest hose. And Jackie saw it and pointed it out. I'm like, well, okay. Well, that's pretty minor. That's pretty minor considering the noise it made, that's for sure. And then on that same road we turned onto, it got really narrow. And we were coming around a corner. The road was cut into the side of the hill. And the branch, you know, the trees were hanging over. The hill was on the left side. And the drop-off was on the right side. And I looked up and saw some dead branches. But I think, yeah, I'll go easy. It might be, we might make it, you know. Well, they weren't huge, but yeah, then I heard the crash, and I'm like, crap. Oh, okay. Well, we made contact. No sense worrying about it now. When we get there, I'll go up on the roof. And, you know, I showed you that damage. That's to that max air fan cover. A couple of bent bolts on the air conditioner. We got the air conditioner running now. I've run the fan, everything works. You know, it's cosmetic, so it could have been worse, but it was a tough drive up here. We came out of Hershey and came up 81, you know, and, you know, we pulled over in the first rest area just to get a break and go to the bathroom, and there was no parking spaces. I mean, Pennsylvania is really terrible for rest areas. They don't have enough of them, and the ones they have, they're packed full all the time. And we were almost here. We were like, I don't know, maybe 5 miles short of being here before there was another rest area. And that one was so full, we ended up pulling over on the way up the hill to it and kind of like walking through a ditch so we could get to the steps of the camper. But it was a pretty stressful day because of those things, you know. And then towards the end, when I missed that turn, it got really stressful. So, and we'd already misunderstood the GPS before I even missed the turn, and we took a left too soon because the two roads weren't any more than like 150 yards apart. You couldn't see the second road, you know. So I took a left, and next thing you know, it's telling me to turn around. Luckily, found a power station, a transformer station, about 1.5 miles, 2 miles down on the left, and I was able to pull in there. And then Jackie was going to spot me backing out on the road because the road was curved, and you couldn't see it for standing right at the edge. You had to walk down the road a bit. She was on the phone, but this fine gentleman in a pickup truck, he stopped and says, "Do you want me to block traffic?" I said, "Oh yeah, thank you very much." So, as soon as he did that, we were able to back right out and get going. And then we missed the other turn. And sounds like fun, huh? Yeah. So, I'm going to talk to the harvest host about labeling the road up there. It had Conklin this, Conklin hardwoods, Conklin that, but I'm like, well, that's a pretty sketchy road, and it doesn't say Conklin Unique Country. I didn't see that sign on that mess of signs. There's a bunch of signs up there by the road. So that's why we went by. And then I pulled over and saw that now we got to go back up there. That's where it is, So, but there was no place to turn around. So, and by then, the GPS had kind of like corrected and said, go this way. Okay. And that's when we got into trouble. So stuff like that happens. You got to remain flexible. It's been a long, stressful drive. So we're here, cosmetic stuff, the max air fan cover. That's no big deal. I get one order to get it on. And in the meantime, we'll keep the water out of it if it rains. But all right. So hopefully we'll enjoy our stay here. Right now we're on the generator. They have a 30 amp hookup. But I didn't arrange that ahead of time. I'm trying to get somebody to call me back so I can, I think it's $10 a night. And I'd rather do that than go get generator gas and run that all night. So anyway, we're safely here. Max Air 2 fan cover. The one that got damaged by the tree limb. Okay, I've got it off. It just comes off by pulling 4 clips. And of course it was stuck down a bit with the lap sealant. This was brand new, March of 2023, and it's now September 25. So I mean, it's amazing how brittle this thing is. See that? Just, and it's probably sunlight and UV that does that. But if it's going to be on the roof of a camper, holy crap, man, you think it's going to see sun? So maybe a more UV resistant plastic or a different material totally? I don't know. But anyway, that's what we're dealing with. I mean, that's the condition of it when I pulled it off there. And I've got a lot of other chunks that already, chunks of plastic that already ended up in the trash. So the new cover is supposed to be delivered today. Really hoping that's the case. It's going to start raining tomorrow and rain all week, so I'm going to have to do something else if it does. So we'll see. I'm going to go back up, clean up the self-leveling caulk that's around it. So I just used a little Windex. I cleaned off the top here, but you can see I'm going to clean this all up around. You can see where you can see the plastic here, so the lap sealant, it came up with the cover. So that's what we're dealing with. Now, it probably, if it rains, it won't get too much water in there, but it can splash up and under here. And I really don't want that to happen. So if this part doesn't come in, I'm going to cover this and seal it up with some vinyl or plastic. And you can see this is where those pins go in to clip down the cover. It's really simple. And the cover was like a little over $40 from Amazon, so should be here today. Crossing my fingers. Just using mineral spirits here, odorless mineral spirits. I'll clean this all up as best as possible. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see how well it works. I do this whenever I'm going to upgrade any or improve upon any lap sealant. I always prep the surface with mineral spirits. Seems to work good. Seen a lot of people doing it on YouTube, you know. Some people will probably say it's not good for the TPO roof, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up, clean it up here. I've got it all cleaned up. The black you see like here, it's actually part of the frame. So it's all cleaned up, and what I want to do is when I have the fan cover in hand, I'll go ahead and lap seal around there, and while the lap sealant's still wet, I'll do what they did and set that cover in place. That'll help seal it even better. So okay, hope it comes in today. Okay, the damage to the cap. I kind of cleaned the scuffing off, use a little rubbing alcohol. And you can see the damage is very minimal. But what I've done, until I figure out what I want to do long term, is I put 2 layers of packing tape over the damage. Just hoping that, of course, I prepped it with alcohol, of course, just to try to keep any water out of that gouge, to eliminate any possibility of water intrusion under there. So anyway, we'll see how that holds up. I'll keep an eye on it, replace the tape as needed. But I thought about, and I had other people say maybe someone turn a bomb, but that'll look like hell. So I don't think that the risk is very high there anyway. So I had to drive over to my in-laws in Parrish to get it. Oh, it was about a 40-minute round trip, maybe 45. And I've got this all cleaned up from earlier, like you saw. So I'm going to go ahead and take and put lap sealant all the way around, especially where it's peeled up here. And then I'll set the fan in place, or the cover in place, and pin it down. So I'm not going to record all that, but so you know what's going on. So last night we received the fan cover for the bathroom fan that was broken after dark over at my Jackie's parents' house. It was probably a 40 to 45 minute round trip to go pick it up. And the weather report said it wasn't supposed to rain until like 4 or 5 o'clock today. This is the next morning. So, and well, I didn't trust it, so I went up there in the dark and put that fan cover on. And this is why I don't trust the weather reports. That is not due. Now, it wasn't a lot of rain, but obviously it rained sometime overnight. And that happens quite often. They say it's going to be a tough winter here in the Northeast. This is Oswego County, New York. And I always question, how do they know that so far out when they can't predict the weather a day ahead? So anyway, I got to go up on the roof now that it's daylight and get the final video for the installation. Here's the finished installation of the Max Air fan cover. It's all clipped in. And much better than what came off, which was smashed to pieces. And like I said, it rained last night. I noticed up here on top of our kitchen slide, this end, the Turnabond tape is coming loose. I don't want to get any water down in here, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this strip, or at least loosen it back up to, so I can get behind it here. And obviously this piece of Turnabond was like that at one time. So I'll decide what I want to do once I get into it, but I might just you know, put some more Turnabond over this edge around and then put the strip back over it for now. This looks, you know, it's still intact, but you know, down the road I probably ought to make a plan to replace that whole strip of Turnabond tape. I say that knowing that once you peel that Turnabond up, the adhesive underneath is a real bugger to clean up, so it's going to be a labor-intensive, time-consuming thing to do, but you know, you have to do what you have to do. I'll keep you posted as I go. Got the screws out of the strip enough to kind of bring it out and put the little ball peen behind it to hold it. And I've got this kind of cleaned up as far as getting it back to where I think a piece of Turnabond tape over the top and then coming down under and terminating here would be a great temporary repair until I can replace the full thing. Now I'm going to go after it with some mineral spirits and a rag and try to clean this up as best as possible so the Turnabond has a chance to do its job. Now there is some like caulking behind here. It might be white butyl, but it's really wet, you know, not wet but not by water, but it's like caulking that hasn't dried, you know. So you know, once I put that back down, I'll probably, you know, seal right along the top here just to make sure that no water can come down here and get in here. You can see these screws, which is pretty common when you pull these screws out, to see that they're rusty inside, and that makes you think the water is getting in, but there's no evidence of intrusion inside the rig, so I'm not too worried about it. Everything, all the screws were in there and they bit and they were, you know, tight, so it's not like the wood's rotted and it doesn't feel rotted. I think we're in good shape. So all right, I'm going to clean that up. Okay, so I've cut off the bad piece very carefully, cleaned it all up with mineral spirits, and I'll cut a piece of a Turnabond overlap over here, and then to end right down here, or maybe a little bit below this termination point down here, and put this back down, put a little bit new, you know, caulking back in here, maybe use that amp stuff I use just on the top across here, put the screws back in, and maybe run a tire bead across the whole top of this termination strip. So all right, wish me luck. Okay, so there's the new piece of a Turnabond tape. I'm going to use this happens to be white. I picked up the wrong tube. I usually buy this in clear. Okay, all-weather sealant, hybrid technology, outperforms silicone. I'm going to put that right, you know, kind of like at the top behind the strip, the termination strip, before I put the screws back in, just to make sure. But I'm not going to be able to film it and do it, so I'll show you the end result. Now here's the finished repair. And a Turnabond, unless you've ever used it, you know how well it sticks. I caulked that termination point in, and I put caulk behind it to squirt it out as I tighten the screws. So it isn't pretty, but yeah, this white amp caulk is it's hard to work with. But I'm more concerned about keeping the water out than it looking pretty. So let's hope that holds up. We'll keep an eye on it. This is the store at the Harvest Host. We're gonna go and look around. Yeah. Very cute. Pretty cute.
For a while.
And the architecture, I mean,
Yeah, it's
the
cool.
building's beautiful.
Yeah, her mother-in-law built this store. Too.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and they started in the barnwood business. Her husband was a logger and stuff, and then they got into taking down barns, and then it turned into this. And
nothing wrong with that.
She wanted to do this side and more. It originally was more custom furniture pieces and things like that, and then she wanted to get into all the decor stuff. And I know.
I understand.
So her house, if you kept going out this road, you'd probably be okay if you took the camper up. But if you go out this road, on the right-hand side, there is a giant barn castle out there that was her house.
Oh, that was.
Or did you go by it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
Because we just came down
this far.
Yeah.
If you keep going out this dirt road, two big giant stone cows out front and this big siloed turret that go. The inside was amazing. It's very similar to this. She had it was an amazing home. And after she passed, they ended up selling it. Now it's I think it's like an Airbnb thing or something like that.
Airbnb probably, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's so unique and different. I'd never been in a place as
I
amazing
can't
as
even
that.
imagine
Like,
because this is beautiful.
all custom, all everything. She went above and beyond with
That's cool.
it. So
that's
beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh yeah.
and that was Leo, and that was their original house. That was the original. See, they owned this house too at one time.
Oh, the ones the neighbor has?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think that's where they started, and they sold it to her parents, and her parents passed and left it to her.
Gotcha.
But
This is all pieces of wood pieced together and stained and
hand cut,
unbelievable. It's gorgeous. The thing's got to be 20,
Probably 20 by 10.
12, 20 by 12 maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, it goes all the way to pretty much to the floor.
Yeah, it just got the trim.
I bet it is. Wow. Gorgeous. So the house in the middle was her mother's house, the original house you're talking about up the road.
Yep, her mother-in-law.
Mother-in-law.
Brent's mother's house.
Brent's mother, okay.
Yep.
And this would be her father?
Her father-in-law.
Okay, her father-in-law.
Donna's father-in-law.
Gotcha. Donna being one of the owners,
Yeah.
right?
Donna's the main Unique Country
Okay.
person. Yep. She handles Unique Country and does the camper, the Harvest Host.
Harvest Host.
Harvest Host,
Yes.
that's it, yep.
And this one with the deer might have been their original homestead, you mean?
That was an older homestead. Maybe
Yeah.
the original one. I can't remember that story about that.
Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Halloween is upon us, and spirits haunt the night. Beware to all, for my side is sharp and sure to fright.
Here. Are you hungry?
Yes. It's been a long day.
long, stressful day. So we've arrived safely at the Harvest Host. It's called Conklin'S Unique Country in Susquehanna, PA. We had a long travel day. It didn't start out that way, but we had a few issues. No big deal. And we decided just to go out and get something to eat. So that's where we are right now. We're going to get some pizza and wings. So. Appetizers are here. Waiting on the pizza. Amaretta's Pizzeria and Pub.
Bigger than my plate.
That's a cheese and pie. So there's where we camped overnight at this Harvest Host. And right next to it is the store. And there's a trail that comes back through here. And I'm going to take a walk. It's supposed to take us down to the lake. I'm going to say this is more than a trail. It's actually a road down here to access, I would imagine, camps. All right, here's the first camp down in here. And you can see the lake out there by that camp or boathouse, whatever that is. Nice lake. I'm still on this road hiking along the lake behind all these camps, but it's gotten to where you can barely see the water now through the trees. I don't know how much further I'm going. Obviously, we could have drove down here, but I thought it was a trail and a road. Yeah, I'll turn around shortly. If I get any more views, I'll share. There's quite the place. Right on the lake. I'll put the name of the lake in the video. Should I use this footage? Well, I'm not going any further down the road. We've got a bug out this morning. We're heading up to New York, heading back to Brennan Beach, spend more time with the family. Our time there before went so fast that we decided we needed to cancel another stay down in Pennsylvania and go back up to see people and do things we've missed. So anyway, we'll walk back to the camper. Family's been in the wood business for quite a while, and they do a lot of wood here. Nothing going on here right now. Not sure what the fire station number 2 is, but if I had to guess, that's the sign that they're going to put up by the road. I don't know that it was already up there and they took it down for maintenance or it was falling down, but that sure would have helped yesterday. So hopefully, if you guys come here in the future, or we come back, that sign will be up by the road out front. That'll help us, turn down in and get here without happenstance. Well, good morning. We had a very restful night here after yesterday's long and stressful travel day. And we're driving up the road right now to see the home that originally was built by the owner's mother. So the gentleman, Peter, at the store last night told us the story. So we're going to drive up and take a look at it. Well, I don't think he was exaggerating. Look at that gorgeous place. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Another plus for this Harvest Host site is 30 amp service, $10 a night. It wasn't even worth going down and buying gas for the generator. $10 a night, I'm in. And it was flawless, worked perfectly. We had a good stay here, getting ready to get on hitch and get out of Dodge. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please like and subscribe. And also, click on the bell icon. That way you'll be notified when new material hits our channel. From Rohn and Jacki at HEISTMAN'S Hit the Road, have a great day and thanks for watching.